This is a Clouds weather alert.
Meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center on this Thursday morning, tracking a new tornado warning right now. Excuse me, to about 10:45 a.m. At about 10:15, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located over Carabel, moving north at about 15 miles an hour. At 10:13, a storm spotter called in to report a well-rotating wall cloud with a funnel cloud 1 mile north of Carabel. So even though rotational radar maybe not the tightest we've ever seen here at this moment, it was looking tighter earlier on, but it was kind of displaced. That report there may be triggering that tornado warning to be issued. So, gotta make sure you're taking those tornado precautions. I know getting interior room away from windows. We have that hook here on the storm. I know though, as it gets further away from Carabel and Lanark Village there, it's going to be a more rural area, more forested type of area at this point. I know we have, just, in the vicinity here, those forested communities and the like. So, again, that's kind of the storyline there right now as we continue to watch things, as we continue to track the overall scenario here. Just kind of looking there around Carabel, of course. I mean, we continue to watch the situation here. We have Apalachicola National Forest, just the region. So, at least it's moving away from a more populated area, but still got to go ahead and take those tornado precautions if you're in the red box, interior room away from windows. Just make sure you do that as we continue to watch this situation transpire on this Thursday, September 12th, 2024. So, and as we look here toward area of Liberty County further on up, you have some heavier rain. And, that can definitely cause some ponding of the water on the roadways. You have a flash flood warning there as we look toward the green box, but some of the worst of the rains really moved out of that for now. I know there's a lot of lightning and rain in the Gulf. We'll have to watch some of this stuff later on, see if it kind of makes, its way closer in toward the land areas and the like. But right now, tornado warning here in play for parts of Franklin and Wakulla. A tornado watch for Franklin, Wakulla, and Liberty until 2 o'clock, and this tornado warning goes to 10:45 a.m. So in that red box, you want to seek shelter inside that sturdy building. Get as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and protect yourself from flying debris by putting on a bicycle helmet, something like that. The situation that does evolve here this morning. Again, we've got that rotation within the Doppler radar algorithms. So that's something to keep, tabs on. And while we have the warning in play, I know at 10:13 a storm spotter called in the weather service in Tallahassee to report a well-rotating wall cloud with a funnel cloud 1 mile north of Carabel. So that's kind of what we're tracking there right now. Just trying to see how things are going here with the Doppler technology and the like. So, again, a tornado warning in effect at this moment. Rotational radar is not the tightest here, but it is present to some degree on the edge of this, and there was already a funnel cloud reported. So you got to take this seriously if you're in this area. But again, pretty rural with the forested region. There are a few homes it looks like right near there. Unlike some of these other ones we've been tracking, we do have mainly but not completely rural areas here of southwestern Wakulla County and north central Franklin counties, including the following locations of Yent Place, Morgan Place, and Lanark Village. So gotta take those tornado precautions. Getting that interior room away from windows here. We have that circulation right just north of Lanark Village there. Again, just going to continue to track all this. You see that right there, in toward this area of some homes, it looks like, and the like. We could have a tornadic circulation coming across here. We have some spins, so that's not out of the question. That's it right in that direction, right in there. You see some homes, you see some roads there. So gotta take shelter right now here if you're in this polygon. So again, we have this warning in effect. I know I checked the population numbers, but Carabel proper would kind of make that look a little bit higher than it was, but it's still, there are folks here. Not just, a possibility with it being a forest. We do have that in here too, but we actually do have some homes and the like. So gotta get in shelter if you're in these areas right here. Again, there's the rotation. And then you have this area right here north of Lanark Village. You see the homes in here, and you gotta take shelter. You don't want to be a mobile home if you can help it. But the 600 to that sturdy building, get as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and protect yourself from flying debris by putting on a bicycle helmet, football helmet, baseball helmet, something like that, and have your shoes on. In the aftermath of a tornado, that would be very important, obviously, because otherwise you could cut your feet up. So, with that debris, that's, pieces of broken glass that could be around and the like. So, again, just continue to watch here. You see all this lighting here in the Gulf, and again, I've been touching on that. There's more instability and the like down there that mixes, but still interesting. And we have some rotation off the coast here, southwest of Port St. Joe. So let me go ahead and go. I'm going to go to the other radar for a moment. See if that gives us a better view on that. And there is some circulation in there. Let's see what direction that's kind of tracking, because that could be a cause for concern for our area then. So that's going a little more easterly than some of these have, but that is still going a decent bit north, so it may take a little bit, it may be more of a Gulf County situation than our area initially, and it would be a matter of if it could hold together once it got a little bit further in there. So again, we'll continue to track, we'll continue to watch, obviously, as the situation does progress. And you can see some of that rotation on the Franklin and Wakulla warning here, further off toward the east on the Doppler. So again, continuing to watch. Again, take those tornado precautions here, obviously. Very important to do that. You don't want to get caught, without shelter and the like. So, again, we have this hook on this storm here, which is always something that you got to watch for. And I was watching this storm, we had some of that, but it was looking a little displaced. So I was thinking, something they're watching, of course, the Weather Service, but maybe not quite enough for a tornado warning. But then they got that report, and just enough concern that there was some spin trying to get down toward the surface in the form of a funnel cloud. So just continuing to track everything. We got some pretty moderate, the heavy downpours here around and to the west of Smith Creek, to the north there, and the like. So when you look back to the south, there's some decent spin there, not overwhelming, but that picked up a little bit on that recent scan there as it's moving toward that community there north of, Lanark Village proper. It's not, totally, maybe organized like you would think, but the rotation debris signature to kind of match. It's just they're kind of ahead, so meaning probably not really getting to the surface, but with that report of a funnel cloud, it's not completely out of the question that it is touching down in the form of a tornado here. So you got to be taking shelter, right, in toward these communities. We're talking about, obviously, right now, more about Franklin. I'm going to take the tornado warning off just for a second to check my county borders, and I'll put it back on as I did. But, still in Franklin County with this, and this community here just north, not that far away from Lanark Village. That's where you have some cause for concern right now. This tornado could be headed your way. I'm going to check some other sources. I want to see if I can get you a better indicator on that real quick. We're looking north there, obviously, of Lanark Village. And then, you kind of look here and I don't necessarily see anything crazy popping up. I think we are crossing the Ocklackney River, though, with this here. So, that's something to kind of touch on. A little weaker on that scan, I think, than that scan, but there's still some rotation there. I mean, if that was, more, in place with the actual reflectivity, I would say there's a tornado down, but I don't think it necessarily is. There's still a lot of inflow around Carabel, it would seem, because you had a lot of blues in there, but it wasn't matching up quite right. I mean, I'll say you, this is a view a little earlier. You had a lot of blue in there. If that was right under a, signature on radar reflectivity and velocity, I'd be really concerned. And this is displaced a little anyway because of the timestamps and switching radars and stuff. But nonetheless, the point is it wasn't quite in the right, alignment here, probably to have something down. But, if we hear reports, we'll pass them along to you. We did have the one report, a train spotter at 10:13 calling the weather service there in Tallahassee saying that a rotating wall cloud with a funnel cloud was occurring 1 mile north of Carabel. So that's definitely cause for that, concern there, cause for some worry there for those folks. So again, just giving you the latest here, minute by minute. Trying the best we can here to protect everybody. I know it's all about making sure you guys are staying safe. So, again, watching the Doppler. Let's go to another perspective on this. Let me go to the other mode. Switch on over. I know you have some scattered showers toward the First Coast region and the like. You have, broad brushs of rain in South Georgia. You have areas there in the Big Bend, with that broad brush, but then heavier downpours, further on over toward some of Leon County, Gadsden, and more so even in Liberty, Wakulla, and portions of Franklin. We have that spin on the Doppler right now. So there's a tight on there. So take shelter. We have this other tight area rotation coming up toward Port St. Joe. I know, looking toward that area there, you see a lot of what's going on with that, and that could prompt a tornado warning. It may, just be right, out of our area, or just barely including a little of our area, depending on how the weather service were to draw that, if that holds together enough. So the angle that's taken, it may just stay just outside of our area, but we shall see. Let's go ahead and kind of look back at more of this right now. Again, you have this hook here, north of Lanark Village. You have some more rotation southeast of Carabel. I'll have to watch that for maybe another tornado warning. We have more areas of spin and really look tighter. Some of them out in the Gulf, but they're still pretty far away, as we were showing you earlier on. So, again, I'm just trying to give you all the updates here. Warning goes for that 12 minutes officially. Just kind of right there near the Ocklackney River. Again, take those tornado precautions. I said the flash flood warning in effect further back west, but that's not a cause for concern right now. Because we've had some of the heaviest rain, stopping that, but not probably gone. But again, just trying to give you the very latest. Trying to keep you safe. Again, watching everything here on the Doppler. Again, it's 10:34 right now. Again, take those tornado precautions there, especially parts of Franklin County. There's not a whole bunch of Wakulla County in this, to be quite honest. And just look at my geography here. There's, just not much at all of Wakulla in here. It's mainly a Franklin County story. That could always change, but take the box off again. Just to check our county areas, I'll take the radar off too. I just want to make sure we're looking at this right, because you see the line it until you get up there, but you have the warning down here, so there's really not much at all. Wakulla is mainly a Franklin thing. As you go ahead and see here, we continue to watch the scans as it gets further from the coast. It seems to be weakening some, that circulation here at this point. Again, this does have a history, though, of producing a funnel cloud. So that's something that, is worth monitoring. You see that back down to the south. And you kind of see that, progressing of this, maybe a little bit more like this, but you take that kind of progressing. Let me move some other of our stuff out of the way here, but you take that kind of progressing with some of this activity out here and these different spins, and you can generally follow this arrow here, but that's something we'll be watching maybe, just outside or just barely in our area here. We have other candidates for warnings. I mean, nothing overwhelming at the moment, but as stuff gets right to the coast, sometimes it'll quickly spin up in this environment with the lower pressure and the friction land involved. It's very tricky how things can suddenly evolve on us. That's why we have a tornado watch for Liberty, Franklin, and Wakulla till 2 o'clock. Again, just trying to give you the latest here. We could have more watches later on. I know I will say we do have some supercell composite values around 2 or 3, even, north central, northeast Florida. But significant herder parameter, there's a little bit, but it kind of lacks. And then you do have the instability. It's just a matter of if you get the storms to develop enough in that. And the models, at least initially, don't show that. But we'll have to watch later on. That could be a sign of something. So we'll keep you up to date. But not formal risk further off to the east. But you see some rotation here. You see that hook on this storm. Again, trying to keep you informed. We had that little area of rotation there. It broadens out northwest of Lanark Village. Again, trying to give you the very latest. I'll put the loop on here to kind of give you guys an idea of what's been going on with the movement. Try to give you that information there at home. See that hook? You see the tornado warning pop up, the red box. You see how that went around Carabel. You see the lightning there, here and there popping up, which is kind of interesting, but not overwhelming, but still intriguing in a tropical setup. So you do have some of the influence, non-tropical influence here as well. So let me check parity numbers here. Checking the latest. I know just in the vicinity, there are 1,000 customers right now out in Leon County. None in Gadsden, none in Liberty, though. Of course, less population out there in general. 5 in Franklin, none in Wakulla, 33 in Madison. I know we have the tropical depression further off toward the west, the newest advisory, just coming out on that now. And they're now going to give out the advisories, that the duty of issuing those to the Weather Prediction Center now. As the center located 15 miles north-northeast of Jackson with max sustained winds at 35 miles an hour and a pressure of 996 millibars. All storm surge warnings could discontinue. We still had some lingering, but with the overall pattern, but no longer the story. New tornado warning to the west now. Parts of Gulf County, not quite into our area. Well, that tightened up. Ooh, just that last couple, of scans there. So that's cause for concern a little bit, because then that might hold together. But it also could be a more of a northerly path, which keeps it a little bit further west. We shall see. I mean, that looks a little more easterly there. I mean, I'll try to loop this around here. You see there's another area out there watching, going up kind of that way. Then you have this area coming into view. We'll have to watch that. Gulf County under the warning right now. They're going with one storm west of Port St. Joe, capable of producing a tornado moving northeast at 15 miles an hour. So actually we're talking about one further up, but this one here is starting to really pop out, but it also gets covered in the warning. Again, things change very rapidly in this setup. Again, just trying to let you know what's going on. And this one's to make it move more easterly. That could be an issue for us in our area. Again, just watching that loop here. And then we'll kind of follow this one. You know, we'll have to just pay attention. So, but take your trainer precautions. We're just outside of our area right now in Gulf County. Areas there around Cape San Blas and St. Joseph State Park. Again, looking further off toward the east here, we do have this area of rotation north of Lanark Village. It's weaker, but there's still some wind enhancement there. As I back it up, scrub forward again. Again, just continuing to let you know what's going on. Again, make sure you're taking your tornado precautions. Interior room away from windows, putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Very important. As we look toward the Gulf of Mexico right now, you see some of these other areas of rotation. We have the other tornado warning further back. That's some really tight spin. You know, winds, you know, good and over 100 miles an hour possibly with that. That could end up being a story there. Just, you know, the north and west of Indian Pass possibly. Or even closer in, depending on the actual angle this takes. And we'll be watching areas of Port St. Joe as well. Watching the rotation there. Again, just keeping an eye on everything. Trying to keep you safe and informed. Again, it's all about protecting you, your friends, your family. So important is this, that, there. Just jump back to the view. You can see all that rain there in Georgia. That might help keep things a little more stable, which would be good. Instability factors showing up there. There's your supercell composite, and there's your significant tornado parameter. I know, just, you know, the storms are already there further back, so they can kind of help, you know, take advantage of some of the parameters in play. And you can see the two different rotations out there. And then the one further up here in the water area. That one's definitely weakening. Don't think they're going to extend that one. Did you see that broadening there? That broadening signature? Which is a good sign, but you know, the one here is broadening. This one is not broadening, however. And, you know, once you get past Indian Pass, you get into western parts of Franklin County. So depending on the angle this takes, we may get a warning extended further on over. It just kind of depends. I mean, if you kind of maybe make it a track here. Let me go to our other mode. That might help us out better. It'll take me a second, but I want to kind of put this on, and it may weaken very quickly too. Keep that in mind. But let me go ahead and throw up our other mode. Again, just trying to give you the latest. I want to just kind of sketch this on out. So as we continue to watch things here, Just try to get an idea of exactly what's going on. Get an idea of the movement. So kind of try to extrapolate out just a little bit here. Maybe something that's pretty similar to the arrow, but just wanted to kind of make sure. So ultimately that could, get further on over here and be a problem in toward Franklin County possibly. Just a small sliver. We'll see if it weakens off by then. But the Franklin and Wakulla warning's expired, so officially for the moment we don't have one in our area, but we have the warning in Gulf, which, is for another area to spend more, but this area to the south could end up getting back into Franklin here. So we'll keep it here at least for a little longer as we watch this and just watch the overall progress here, because, you can see that line there, that, county line in here. And we'll be watching, we'll be tracking, see how things kind of evolve. So, again, tracking everything for you here on this Thursday morning. I mean, it's always possible that weekends before they get into our area. What do they have the movement? They have it on that one. I mean, it's not the other storm actually, but 15 miles an hour on that one. So we'll go with a similar movement on this. So just kind of following along here. Still may take a little bit. I don't think it'll take as long as that shows necessarily, but still take a little bit to get into our area. So what I think we're going to do right now, we're going to wrap it and we'll monitor, because this stuff's been coming and going. So there's a chance it could just kind of fade back down again. That's what we want, obviously. That's what we want to happen, but you just never know. You never know in these type of sets of circumstances. It definitely looks pretty tight. So it bears very close watching there. And there's some population right along the coast. We talked about Cape Sandblast, and we talked about St. Joseph State Park under this. So we could have a brief, tornado touchdown, waterspout coming on shore, and being a tornado there for a moment in some of those areas before maybe a weekend before it gets in our area. But it could be an issue just outside of the area in Gulf County in that central time zone. And actually it's in the eastern time zone there with the warning, but 11:15 a.m. Eastern time, that small sliver, but that's what they have it set as here on our warning anyway. So that's a little weaker there. We'll watch it as we need to come back on. We will. It's not quite in our area right now, so I don't want to stick with it. But things can change in a hurry here. Things can change in a hurry. And we'll be back here as it is warranted. I will say that one area in our region, that rotation hasn't completely gone away. So we'll watch that there in parts of Franklin to see if that wants to tighten back up on us. Not out of the question, and that could start to get into more populated areas if it does. So we got stuff to watch, but right now we don't need to stay on the air. We'll break back in as conditions warrant, through the morning, through the afternoon, through the evening, as it is needed, if it is needed, and tomorrow, and a Saturday if it's really a threat, that goes out for it. Very well put into tomorrow, Saturday, a little more iffy on warnings, especially then. I mean, even tomorrow would be more about wind damage probably than tornadic activity potential. But again, that's going to do it for now. I'll be back here as needed from the Weather Center.